I had been scouring online marketplaces for weeks, looking for a rare collectible figurine. It wasn't expensive, but it had been discontinued years ago, and finding one in decent condition felt like hunting for a needle in a haystack. When I finally came across a listing from someone nearby, I jumped at the chance. The seller was polite and responsive, answering all my questions quickly. They promised the item was in like-new condition and could be delivered by courier within 3 days. I didn't think twice. This was routine. I had done similar transactions dozens of times. Nothing could go wrong. The day the package arrived, I noticed something immediately off. The box wasn't labeled with my name, only my apartment number. Odd, I thought, but shrugged it off. Mistakes happen. Maybe the shipping label printer glitched. I carried the package inside, set it on the kitchen table, and examined it. The box felt lighter than expected. I opened it carefully, expecting to see the figurine nestled in its foam. Instead, there was only a small, folded piece of paper. My stomach sank. I unfolded it. Written in messy, hurried handwriting were 3 chilling words: "I know what you did." No signature. No return address. My hands shook as I reread the note. I didn't understand. I had done nothing wrong. Nothing that anyone should know about. My apartment suddenly felt cold. Every shadow seemed darker, every sound sharper. I called the seller immediately. The line rang once, twice, and then went dead. I tried again. Still nothing. Anxiety twisted in my chest. Maybe it was a prank, a wrong delivery. But something in the handwriting, the way the note was slipped into the box, it felt personal. That night, sleep didn't come. Every creak of the floor, every hum of the refrigerator made me jump. I kept glancing toward the front door, imagining someone standing there watching me. My apartment, once comforting, now felt like a trap. The next morning, I tried to focus on work, but every small sound made me flinch. My thoughts kept returning to the note. "I know what you did." The words repeated in my mind, insistent, relentless. Over the next few days, small things began to unsettle me further. My keys were slightly out of place in the bowl by the door. A picture frame on the wall was angled slightly differently. At first, I convinced myself it was careless forgetfulness, but then the scratches appeared. Small, precise, near the door frame, scratches that weren't there before. I installed a small security camera by the entrance. That night, I watched the feed obsessively. No one appeared. No one entered. Still, the feeling of being watched never left. I tried rationalizing it. Maybe the note had been meant for someone else. Maybe it was a coincidence. But deep down, I knew better. Weeks passed. Each night brought a new sign of intrusion, subtle but impossible to ignore. Small objects moved slightly. The note appeared again, this time slipped under the door. "You can't hide." I called the police. They listened politely, but without fingerprints, handwriting identification, or surveillance footage of the intruder, they could do nothing. "It's probably a prank," they said. But I knew it wasn't. Whoever had left those notes had access. They had seen my apartment, my routines, and knew exactly how to get inside, or at least how to make me believe they could. Sleep became impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I imagined shadows shifting near the doorway. Every sound outside my apartment, a truck backing up, a neighbor's footsteps, the rustle of leaves, set my nerves on edge. I installed more cameras, more locks, more lights. Still, the unease remained. Then came the whispers. Not audible words, just faint, indistinct murmurs when I was home alone. Sometimes they sounded like breathing. Sometimes they seemed like laughter, low and mocking, coming from somewhere just out of reach. I checked the cameras. Nothing. I checked the apartment thoroughly. Nothing. The figurine sat on my shelf, untouched since that first note. It had once been a prize I had hunted for weeks. Now it was a symbol of my fear. I avoided looking at it directly, but its presence reminded me every moment of what had started when I opened that box. One night, after a week of relentless tension, I returned home from work to find another note. This one was taped to the figurine itself. "You shouldn't have taken it." I dropped the note. My hands trembled. Every precaution I had taken, locks, cameras, varied routines, felt meaningless. Someone had been inside. Or at least they had managed to make me believe they had. Now, months later, the fear never leaves. I live my life in a constant state of hyper-awareness. Every sound, every shadow, every stranger in the hallway is a potential threat. The figurine remains on the shelf, a silent reminder of that day and the message it carried. Even as I type this, I can't shake the feeling that someone is watching me, waiting, patient, knowing. And I know deep down that the person who sent that first note could still be out there watching, biding their time, and ready to remind me once again. They know what I did.